What's up everybody, how you guys doing? I'm great, thanks for asking, and thank you for tuning into another video of Koo's Ballroom. You know, I like watching like the sports talk shows, like the national ones on ESPN First Take. That's probably my favorite one. I like tuning in every now and then to like Undisputed, but I like following Koo's Broussard as well. Anywhere he appears on Fox, anywhere like that Colin Cowherd show or anything else, I like watching his little video and hear what he has to say. But you know, I like watching those type of shows. And you know, those sports shows are like a big reason of why I'm doing this right now, because that's what I want to do. I want to be talking sports. I want to debate sports. I'm loud. That's just who I am, and that's most likely the biggest reason why I watch those shows, because that's what I want to be. But you know, as many people know, you know, they seem to sometimes they get like out of hand. They say some crazy things, and like they develop like some storylines and some narratives that if you just watch the show, you think they are true, and they're just not. I'm not like those other guys that you see all over Twitter who just like, you know, since I have a check mark and I write about basketball, I think I'm just better than anybody else, and those people on TV don't know nothing. Because I wouldn't claim to say that Stephen A doesn't know anything, for example, about basketball. He knows a lot about the game of basketball itself, but in the NBA, he seems to like maybe know a little bit about like two teams, and then outside of that, it's just like vague, like very face value kind of knowledge. And this is one of the things that he is just straight up wrong about, and just about all people in like the national, like on ESPN and Fox, all that stuff. They're wrong, and it's about Lonzo and his shooting. They're just wrong. And you guys know who I'm talking about, Lonzo Ball, son of LeVar Ball, which is probably what he's better known as because of his dad is making everything about him, but that's another story for another video. But anyways, they just like to talk about his shooting form because it's from the side, it's unorthodox, blah, 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 blah. And since Lonzo like struggled the beginning of the season, which I'll get into soon, people have just held on to that narrative, and no matter what happens, they just continue to drag it throughout the season. And like I said, it's just a false narrative that they're dragging still. And I've been meaning to do this video for quite a long time, but I just haven't been able to find a stat that I saw, and I wasn't very good at finding stats like these, like analytics that you find on ESPN.com or Basketball Reference or NBA.com, all that stuff. I wasn't good at that, but recently I've been getting better at it thanks to a friend. And recently, Duncan Smith of The Athletic, as I always point out in my videos, it's a good follow, go follow him on Twitter, but he tweeted out the stat that I was looking for, so that launched me into starting the video now. For me just sitting here talking, let's go ahead and get straight into the numbers of Lonzo Ball. So as I said, Lonzo Ball's early season struggles have been well documented, and it's backed up in the stats. From game 1 to game 20, Lonzo Ball was shooting 30% from the field on 11.2 attempts from the field, and that's just horrific. It is. And he was shooting 24% from 3 on 5 attempts. That's also horrific. You keep in mind that this is the guy's first 20 games in the NBA. He is a rookie. First 20 games in the NBA. It's horrific, but make sure you keep that in mind. In his first 20 games on those bad percentages, he averaged 8.7 points a game, 7 rebounds a game, and 7 assists a game, with a negative 1.2 net rating while he was on the court. The guy's first 20 games were no doubt pretty bad, at least from the field shooting-wise. He was doing good in other aspects, but shooting-wise, it was pretty bad. But as I've seen with this new era of people talking about sports, people just want everything out of rookies right away, and they like to judge rookies, first-year players in professional sports off of like a couple months of games, and that's just not how it works. It was never like that. So I don't know why it's like this new era of judging rookies so fast has come about. Ever since those first 20 games, the rest of the games after that, which are only 21 because he missed 22 games in the season, in the last 21 games, he's improved his shooting and his number just across the board. In Lonzo Ball's last 21 games, he's raised his field goal percentage from 30% on the field to 43% from the field. He's raised his 24% from 3 to 41% from 3 on 6 attempts. More attempts than he was taking in the first 20 games, where he was taking 5. He's taking 6 now. He's still averaging 7 rebounds and 7 assists. He got 2 steals a game. He's raised his 8.7 points per game to 12 points a game. And he has a plus 2.2 net rating. This is just after his first 20 games if you just give a guy some time. Also, in the first 2 months of the season, October and November, where the first 20 games happened, he had true shooting percentages of 40 and 37 those months, which is not good at all. Next 2 months, December and January, I didn't count February or March because he's only played a total of 5 games in those 2 months. So just in December and January, his true shooting percentages have went from 40 and 37 in those 2 months, October and November, to 52 and 51 respectively in December and January. The guy can shoot the ball, and I've never been for really talking about changing a guy's jumper, especially once he gets to the NBA. If a guy shot like that his whole life and he's been a good shooter beforehand, Just let the guy continue to shoot that way. That's the way he shot his whole life. If he's going through a rough stretch in the beginning of the season, it's most likely because, one, he's a rookie, and second, he's just going through a rough stretch. The fact that we're so quick to point out flaws in rookies of the first couple months of the season is just insane. Now, something I just won't defend him on is that free throw percentage. I just don't know how you can shoot that bad when you shoot like this from the perimeter. How you can just be like just a horrific free throw shooter. I don't know how that happens. But for this part right here, I'm just going to direct this mostly at Stephen A. Smith, since First Take, I watch it every day. And he's the one I hear the most talking about, Lonzo Ball and his struggles. Stephen A. has been on the record of saying that Lonzo Ball, he's worried that he might be quote-unquote a bust. And also he's talking about how, oh, I don't care about, he's so good at rebounding, he is a good rebounder, he is a good guy at passing, but you know, I just want him to be more aggressive, I just need him to take more shots, he just so willingly to go to the corner and blah 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 blah. For Stephen A's argument about Lonzo Ball needing to be more aggressive, I hope he just saw that Lonzo just hit 2 go-ahead threes against the Spurs this past week. So I hope he saw that one. While he hit 6 threes in that game, he hit 6.
Lost it, recovered it, loose, kick out, Lonzo Ball for 3. In and out and back in. 5 threes for Lonzo Ball.
He's not afraid to take the big shot.
Lonzo Ball has hit 5 threes tonight. Lonzo Ball has hit 6 threes tonight, and that's the 3rd he has hit here.
Before this whole he just goes to the corner, or he's so willing to just move out the way and everything. Stephen A., some teams have this thing called sets and strategies, and if the coach has a strategy and a set that requires Lonzo not to have the ball in his hands, I would recommend a rookie not to go against his coach if that's what the play is called. But either way, just to entertain what Stephen A is talking about, I'll just pull up what they look like with him on the court and off the court. In 1,333 minutes with Lonzo Ball on the court, the Lakers have a plus 0.5 net rating. With 1,678 minutes with Lonzo Ball off the court, they have a minus 3.2 net rating, equaling they are 3.7 points better with Lonzo Ball on the court. You don't understand how hard it was for me not to mess up those numbers and sound correctly, and analytics, I tell you, gotta learn them, man, gotta learn them. But pretty much what I'm saying is, the Lakers are just better with Lonzo on the court, and he makes the team better, his teammates better, and it doesn't involve him just shooting and scoring the basketball. He doesn't have to have the ball in his hands and just be like, you know, scoring 30 points a game like apparently Stephen A wants or something. He has a positive impact on the floor, and it doesn't involve him having to score 20 points a game. What I'm saying is, Lonzo Ball is not a bust. He is not a bad shooter. We have so much more evidence that he's a good shooter rather than a bad shooter, which, by the way, like I will say one more time, came in the first 2 months of his rookie year in the NBA. The guy has improved every single month that he's been in the NBA. And if you want to count like the first 2 months when he struggled, he was just about good at everything else on the court besides then. In those first 2 months, he was already a great rebounder for a point guard position, and one of the best I've seen. He's great at getting his teammates involved, and he's extremely athletic, which gets him in the passing lanes, makes him a nightmare there, and it gives him an advantage guarding other point guards who are probably not going to be 6'6" with that kind of wingspan. I believe this kid's going to be special. I think Magic Johnson made the absolute right pick picking him. And while I argued a lot of points that Stephen A made in this video, I do agree that he maybe needs to get more aggressive, but not in his rookie season. Maybe like 2 years down the road. It's called improvement. I don't expect nobody to be perfect his rookie season and be exactly how you want them to be their rookie season. The guy is barely a grown man. He just turned, like, come on. If this is what Lonzo's doing already, like, what's he going to do 2 or 3 years down the road from now? And maybe even next year. Are we looking at like 27-7? I know a lot of people don't think he's going to be one of them scoring guys, but why? Why not? Well, anyways, thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, go ahead and give me that thumbs up down below. Check out my channel if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button if you want. And if you agree with me or if you disagree with me, go ahead and hit the comment sections up below. Let me know what you think. Or you can always hit me up, as always, at my Twitter, which I'll put right up here for you guys. By the way, the Coos Ballroom for Piston Power this week has not came out yet. So if you still have any questions about the NBA or the Pistons or anything you want to ask me about, you can still send me those questions. Go ahead and you can comment in this video down below. Or you can tweet me, as always, at my Twitter up here. Just make sure you use the hashtag Coos Ballroom so I know your question is about the video and not really like a question you want me to answer in the comment section. Once again, thank you for tuning in to this video. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you guys in my next one.